The dust storms of Vera 4 always arrived without warning. One moment the sky was clear and sharp with twin suns, and the next bronze-colored clouds roared over the dunes, sand scouring the air like knives. For Ethan Cole, a mechanic turned reluctant prospector, it was just another miserable day on the edge of nowhere. He had come to Vera 4 chasing rumors of crashed freighters and abandoned mining rigs, a fortune waiting to be salvaged if one had the grit to survive the planet's cruelty. The locals said Vera was cursed. He was starting to believe them. That was when he saw her. At first, he thought it was a hallucination brought on by the heat. A lone figure wandered across the ridge, cloaked in silver fabric that shimmered against the storm-lit sky. She moved with impossible grace, her steps unhurried even as the sand blasted around her. Ethan rushed to his rover and steered toward her, his instincts overriding reason. No one survived out here without shelter. When he pulled alongside her and slid the hatch open, he shouted over the storm, "Get in, unless you want your lungs shredded." She turned her head slowly. Her eyes, like liquid gold, studied him with a mixture of amusement and curiosity. But she obeyed, stepping into the rover without hesitation. Inside, Ethan pulled his scarf down, coughing out sand. The woman sat across from him, unbothered, her cloak settling like water. "You shouldn't be out there," he said, trying not to stare. "Storm'll peel the skin right off you." Her lips curved in a small smile. "And yet you were out there." "Yeah, well," Ethan muttered, checking the rover's seals. "I'm stupid. What's your excuse?" She tilted her head, as though no one had ever dared ask her that. "I was looking," she said simply. "For what?" Her golden eyes locked on his. "For you." Part 1, The Stranger. They rode out the storm in silence, the rover's engine humming steady. Ethan stole glances at her. She wasn't like any settler he'd seen, too regal, too composed. Her features were delicate but strong, her skin faintly luminescent, catching the dim light like polished marble. When the storm cleared, Ethan dropped her off near the edge of the canyons where the locals sometimes camped. "Safe here," he said. "Find your people." But she made no move to leave. "I have no people here," she said. Ethan frowned. "Then what the hell were you doing walking into a storm alone?" Again that enigmatic smile. "Testing fate." Ethan shook his head, muttering something about crazy off-world pilgrims. He had salvage runs to make. He left her behind. Or so he thought. That night, in his makeshift camp, he found her again, sitting by his fire, cloak discarded. She looked almost human but far too flawless. Too radiant. "Do you follow everyone who saves you?" he grumbled. "Or am I special?" "You are special," she answered without hesitation. "More than you know." He sighed, collapsing onto his cot. "Lady, I'm nobody. Just a broke mechanic trying to scavenge enough scrap to buy a ticket off this rock. Whatever you're looking for, I'm not it." "Perhaps you are wrong." Despite himself, Ethan laughed. She was strange, yes, but not threatening. And for the first time in months, he felt less crushingly alone. Part 2, Secrets in the Sand. Over the following days, she remained with him. She never gave her name, though once when he pressed, she said softly, "You may call me Celera." Celera proved helpful, reading the weather signs better than he could, guiding him to hidden wrecks buried in the dunes. She seemed to know where the valuable salvage was before they arrived, as though she had walked the sands 100 times before. One evening, while Ethan worked on a cracked power core, Celera sat across from him, watching intently. "You handle machines as though they are living things," she said. "They might as well be," Ethan replied, wiping sweat from his brow. Engines, cores, thrusters, they break, they die. But if you treat them right, they'll carry you through hell itself. Her eyes softened. That is a human way of seeing. No one I have known would speak so. Where are you from then? He asked. Celera hesitated. A place you would not believe. Try me. Her golden eyes searched his face, as if weighing his worth. Finally she said, I am not merely Celera. I am Celera Varian, first queen of the Luminara Dominion. Ethan almost dropped his spanner. You're what now? A queen, she said plainly. One who has been hidden. One who has chosen to walk unseen. Ethan barked a laugh. Right. And I'm the Emperor of Earth. Look, if you don't want to tell me, fine. But a queen. Out here in the dirt. She only smiled, unoffended. You do not believe me. But that is safer for you and for me. Part 3, The Hunters. The truth came sooner than Ethan expected. They were salvaging a wreck at dawn when sleek shadows streaked across the sky. Ships, black and silent, descending like predators. Celera stiffened, eyes narrowing. They have found me, she whispered. Who? Ethan asked, grabbing his rifle. Assassins. My usurpers. Before Ethan could process that, the air filled with shrieking plasma fire. He dragged Celera into cover, his heart pounding. You weren't kidding, he muttered. The assassins disembarked, tall figures clad in obsidian armor, their weapons glowing. Ethan fired, picking off one, but they were too many. Just when it seemed hopeless, Celera rose. She shed her cloak, revealing a form that glowed with inner light. Her skin shimmered like starlight, her eyes blazing gold. With a single gesture, energy rippled from her, throwing the assassins back like ragdolls. Ethan stared in stunned silence. You really are a queen, she finished. Part 4, Bonds Forged in Battle. They fled across the canyons, the assassins in pursuit. Ethan's rover rattled over rocks as Celera shielded them with shimmering energy. At night, by the fire, Ethan asked the question gnawing at him. Why me? Out of all the people you could have found, why stick with some dumb mechanic? She looked at him, her expression unusually gentle. Because you are not blinded by appearances. You saw me as a stranger worth saving, not as a throne or a title. That is rare. Ethan scratched the back of his neck, embarrassed. I just didn't want you to die in a storm. And that, she said softly, is why you matter. Part 5, The Choice. Eventually, Celera revealed the whole truth. She had been betrayed by her council, forced into exile until she could gather strength to reclaim her throne. The assassins would never stop hunting her. I should leave you, she told Ethan one night. To stay with me is to invite death. But Ethan shook his head. You think I'm gonna walk away after all this? No chance. You saved me as much as I saved you. We're in this together. Her golden eyes glistened. You would risk everything for me? Not for your crown. For you, he said simply. Part 6. The Final Stand. The assassins cornered them at the ruins of an old mining outpost. Outnumbered and outgunned, Ethan rigged traps with salvage parts while Celera prepared her power. The battle was fierce. Plasma lit the night. Explosions rattled the ground. Ethan fought with everything he had, shielding Celera when her strength waned. When the leader of the assassins nearly struck her down, Ethan threw himself in the way, taking the blast to his armor. Celera's scream shattered the sky. Her full power erupted, a storm of golden energy obliterating their enemies. When silence fell, Ethan lay bleeding, half-conscious.